Thank you for staying with us. Items for discussion, policy superintendent's regulation, stage 1, 3415, sexual harassment. Do we? No, I'm sure.
So if I could just give you kind of an overview, there's a lot of colors to these changes, and there's a lot of changes, as you notice, and I'll just tell you the reasons why. So this policy was updated by Erie 1 as a result of changes to the law regarding sexual harassment. So that was change number 1. And of course, when we get these policies, we send them to our, we merge the new language from Erie 1 and we send them to our attorneys for accuracy, which we did. And then as we were going through that process, we realized that there's a sexual harassment policy for adults, and there was a sexual harassment policy for students. And so we asked our attorneys about that, and they made a suggestion that we merge these two policies so they became one district policy on sexual harassment, and she merged the language for both. So that was the second thing that occurred. The new law required districts to have a policy, which of course we already did, and we updated it to reflect the new language. And it changed the requirements for training. So that's also in the new policy, where there's now required annual training, and had some new language for contracts. That was another change with the law, and then it's inclusive of some of the reflective of new school regulations like DASA. So those are the changes that you see. Then when we merged the policy for adults and students, we changed the number of the policy to what you see here tonight, which is 3, right, and that is the 3415 as opposed to 6121, because that's the part of our policy manual that has community policies of interest to the community, code of conduct, the use of facilities, and now sexual harassment. And now this will be one policy that reflects both. And then the final thing that happened is that there was a regulation which Erie 1 said, you really don't need this regulation anymore. And so they just made sure, our attorneys just made sure that any language in the regulations that we found should be incorporated in policy, they incorporated. So that's why it looks like Skittles is melted all over this policy, but that's pretty much all the changes. And one final thing is our complaint form. There's a new complaint form that they're requiring we use, so we changed our old complaint form to our new complaint form.
And that too conforms to both needs?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Questions?
Dr. Leahy, when they talk about the compliance officers, it says one of each gender. Are they for the entire district, and how is that information shared of who the compliance officers are?
It's in the calendar.
Okay.
Every year.
And then there's a section on page 7 that talks about if, for whatever reason, the compliance officer is the person being put the complaint on, that they should go to the next level of supervisory authority. And I'm just curious as to how people would know who that is.
Well, since I'm the compliance officer, it would be the superintendent.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Do we not need to spell that out better?
In the policy, John, or the advertisement?
I'm not quite sure.
Well, you wouldn't put a name in the policy, then. So,
Yeah, but how does, no, I'm not looking for a name of,
title.
a title.
Would it typically be you and somebody else of the same position, like another male superintendent that would be the other compliance officer? That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's what it says, one of each gender.
So in our case, we have one of each gender because I'm on paper the compliance officer, and then the superintendent would be the other person that they could go to, and he happens to be male. Is the question if a superintendent and the compliance officer are the same gender? Is that the
No,
question?
the question is who is the next level of supervisory authority? If you have a superintendent as the person who's a compliance officer, what's the next level after a superintendent? Does that make it harder for people? Should we create more layers there? I would argue that the superintendent should not be a compliance officer, but should be the final person, and then if, God forbid, we ever had that problem, that they would have to go to the Board of Education.
So the other compliance officer, the male one, would be like, say, for
Chris or
example, Chris or Robert?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll have to,
I just gave you another job, Chris or Robert. Congratulations.
so I assume then that it would be the appointed in the reorganization, Jackie?
So you're talking about paragraph 2 on page 7, correct?
Yep.
Since it's 2019, I'm going to bring this up. On page 5, we talk about reporting sexual harassment, and we say sexual harassment could be male to female, female to male, male to male, or female to female. What about non-gendered people? Are we setting ourselves up for something here?
Transgender, you could put it all in there.
But where does-
Transgender is.
Right. I mean, yeah. So are we setting
just watched
ourselves
a
up
I just watched a
by
compliance
listing all of this?
I watched a compliance video today, and they said it very nicely in one of the slides. They listed all of those things. I'll get it, and I'll show it to you. It was a really nice
Okay.
listing of just exactly what you're saying,
Yeah.
and it just listed it really nice.
Yeah.
And it was about sexual. It was all
Same
Mhm,
thing, yeah.
Exactly.
I think we need to.
Or
be
couldn't you
forward
just take
thinking.
that whole section out about gender? It's really student to staff to student, staff to staff, student to student.
Doesn't need to be
It doesn't,
anything
it
else.
doesn't matter. It's just
Because a student
person
is a
to
student,
person.
staff is staff.
You can just take it out. It's to cover that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
That's
same-
true.
Right.
Yeah, that same thing.
So
I think
just take it
that's
out?
better because we
Just take
may
it out.
not
Just-
get
yeah.
everybody that,
Oh, you're
That
missing
is a
student
better way to
staff.
approach it.
Staff,
Mhm.
right.
Staff to student, staff to staff,
Or
student to
student to student.
student to
Staff.
Students.
Yeah, but isn't it the same, if it's staff, okay.
No,
So you
staff
want a
to
student to
or
staff.
student
Should
to
be
staff.
Student to staff, okay.
I would
Could
take
be
out
that
all the
way,
gender.
too.
But we should take out the gender.
Take out all the gender and just
Because
do
it's
the,
just, yeah.
the titles.
Okay, so we're adding student to staff, and we're removing all gender.
Yep.
Everything past student to student.
Got it.
Technically, student is a power issue.
So, and then we also, at the bottom of page 1, and on page 2, we talk about unlawful sexual harassment. And I think this is something we've talked about before. Can there be lawful sexual harassment? Like, do we need to say unlawful?
Where are you?
Bottom of page 1 and the top of page 2, we say, that last paragraph says sexual harassment can occur, and unlawful sexual harassment can occur.
So you're saying remove unlawful?
Well,
There's no such thing as lawful
there's no
sexual
lawful
harassment.
sexual harassment. I don't know,
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
On page 2 also,
And it's on top of page 2?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, got it. Okay,
Unlawful workplace harassment.
right, right.
Unlawful workplace.
okay.
and, well, even, we're in the gender, page 2, paragraph 2. Do we want to keep that there also? Discrimination on local or federal state law. Sexual harassment includes harassment.
Yes, because
Yeah,
we're just
okay,
saying
okay,
gender.
That's
We're not-
different.
We're
Forget
not
it.
saying.
That's defining it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we cover everybody?
Well, there especially we do, because we say,
Right.
we
do
have the whole
self-identify.
line of, you know, gender expression, gender identity,
Okay.
you know. So I would think so.
Also on the bottom of page 1, before the bullets there, it talks about perpetrated against a covered person, and then it lists different categories, and then it bullets. But in the bullets, the visitor, volunteer, parent is not listed. I don't know. Building security is also not listed, but other things are. I don't know that it's necessary to have it, but it just seems a little inconsistent.
Can we take that whole section out since it seems?
Isn't it redundant?
I would take it out.
Yeah.
Isn't it redundant and like,
It is, and it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
So take out the bullets and take
I would take the
out
bullets out in
Yeah,
that
just
last
take
sentence
bullets out.
before it.
Yep, because we've already said what it, yeah.
Right. And then back on page 7, the first blue paragraph, kind of the third sentence says, it will be confidential to the extent possible. And then the beginning of the next paragraph says the investigation will be kept confidential to the extent possible. I don't know if it needs to be there twice or.
Or like the next paragraph.
Yeah, so the next, yeah.
Right, it's redundant.
So you're saying take out that out of the next paragraph?
Or take it out of
I would take it out of the
the
first one.
first one
Yep.
and
Take it out
then
of
leave
the
it in the
first one?
second.
Yeah.
So investigation will be conducted in a timely manner and will be, take out the whole sentence?
I would say conduct in a timely manner, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other kind of big question that I have about the whole thing in general is, what's the period of time that people are allowed to make these complaints? Because what I'm concerned about is if the district doesn't have a kind of relationship notification sort of policy, that if two people engage in a mutual consensual relationship here in the district, and then something goes awry, and then they somehow want to bring up a suit that it was an unwelcome or something. So in all the places I always worked in human resources, there were, if you had somebody engage in a relationship, they told somebody in human resources that we are entered into this consensual relationship, so that it would cover the district, company, wherever you work, from these then claims later that they were unwelcome, or if somebody gets jaded and then decides to make a complaint, then we have no information.
Then we'd have to create a policy that said you have to inform the district of a relationship with somebody in the district.
We don't have anything like that, right? No.
I don't know the answer to it either, and
Yeah.
we could find out from the
Yeah.
attorneys whether that's something that needs to be included.
Yeah,
Something we say that we
right.
cover ourselves, so to speak.
Anything else?
Probably.
So that's a
I
lot.
almost need to
That's
see
a
it
lot.
like
Yeah,
fixed
yeah.
up, and then we can take a look at it again.
The training programs established for students referred to on page 10, is that for students across the district or in the high school, or?
It's
Under training?
right, it's really part of our code of conduct, and they're briefed on it every year. That's,
Right.
Anything else?
No, but I wonder if it would be possible to kind of get a clean version, like,
Yeah,
this is very
It's
hard to read. I mean, I don't know if anybody
No, I
else
agree.
found that. Like, can we accept these changes and
Well, I
then?
don't have to accept the changes, I could just print out, I know that you guys like to see it, the changes, but
Yeah.
I could also print a second copy of it with it, without,
Yes, that would.
as a
Yeah.
final product.
Yep.
Yeah, because,
Without actually accepting the
okay,
changes.
because this one's just, there's so many
Uh-huh.
changes, and
Okay,
it would be nice to get a cleaner copy to see
I could send both
where we are.
next time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you
Are
want
the
to
new
keep it?
changes a different color?
I think we're running out of
They run out of colors in the printer.
Stage 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the complaint form is 3415.
Yes.
The only thing I would, this like clearly is a complaint form for somebody who works here, but if it's a student to student or there's no right, it looks like it's an employee complaint form.
If it's for the students, it shouldn't say workplace.
Right,
Yeah, or
But
parent.
definitely.
yeah. Supervisor's name, things like that.
Right.
Right.
So can we just take in the workplace out?
Or
Well-
does it necessitate maybe another form for
That's what I'm
students?
thinking,
For
of two different
kids, yeah.
forms.
For students.
Let me check back with the
Yeah.
attorneys about using a different form. We could create a form for students, or we could make, something that has choices.
All right. Thank you for that. Dr. Johnson, it's that time of the meeting.
I really only have two things. I really want to thank the community again for their support of the school district and the budget. Sometimes people don't realize how important that is to the children of this community and the amount of time and effort that's put into putting together the plan. But I believe that the overwhelming support at the polls certainly showed a certain amount of understanding of the diligent work that has gone on by the Board of Education in planning for the kids in this community. So my thanks to them and thanks to the board for the work that they've done. Also wanted to recognize Center Stage again and the incredible work done by our kids, both the special education kids, regular class kids, and quite frankly, all of the adults, both the professional staff and the people that we bring from outside, working with our kids and providing Dr. Leahy and I our first opportunity to become movie stars.
It was hard to tell.
I was well hidden. She was not as well hidden as I was. She was more discernible, right.
Everybody
But she had a cool hat on.
She did have a cool hat. Yes, you're right. She did, right. So, again, my congratulations to everybody who participated. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Barry?
Pretty much very similar to Dr. Johnson's comments. Thank you to the community again for supporting the budget, and congratulations to our very own John O'Shea for his new term. Congratulations to all of the retirees and teachers who were appointed to tenure tonight, and the mentors, thanks to them, and the PTA leadership. We said it at the last meeting when they were present in our comments, but just thank you for the role that they play. Very important. Thank you.
Ditto, ditto. Congratulations once again to all the staff that were here tonight. It's so nice to get to celebrate each of them. They work so hard, and it's really nice when we get to celebrate them and see them here and meet their families, so that's a special time. It's nice to get to go outside and have some coffee and meet their parents and their significant others, so that's just it's an exciting night for us. Also, Center Stage, I work as a principal, and I actually had a couple of my classes come from Carmen Road to see the show, so they were here on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I didn't get here with them, but they were here and they just came back and raved about it. And my school, they come in wheelchairs, and it's very cool and exciting for them to be here. They get set up, and really just, it's a great experience for them to get on the bus and come here and then to watch all the students here. So it was just awesome collaboration and really great. So thank you for that. And congrats to John O'Shea, another term. And thank you to the community for approving the budget. We're excited to move forward and continue to do great things. Thank you.
Mrs. Dion?
Okay, so everything that was just said, and you know, we always hate to repeat what everybody says, but I think it's worth saying thank you for passing the budget, and it's worth saying congratulations, John. Center Stage was fabulous also. The Relay for Life here at the high school over the weekend, while not as well attended as the previous year, was also a fabulous event. And I think, I heard they raised over $50,000. So congratulations, and I think every year it will get bigger and stronger and better. So it was really wonderful. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you said this last time, and if you did, then I'm sorry, I forgot. But I was at a concert last night, and Dr. Zuar has said in all the concerts, for the third year in a row, Rockville Center was named one of the best districts for music education in the United States. So,
Actually, it was Dr. Zuar who mentioned it when we were honoring the kids.
oh, that was it.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you did hear it, but not from
Okay.
me. That's right, he did.
And he thanks everybody, and he thanks the parents, and he thanks the kids, and he thanks all of us. But I think we need to thank him too, because really, the music is wonderful throughout this district, and a lot of it has to do with him. So, and I ran out to get a cookie really quick, and I ran into someone, I had to hug them, so I didn't see, but yesterday I saw there was amazing student woodwork outside.
Yes, amazing.
It is no longer called Outdoor Structures, it is called, I don't remember what we call it now. We changed it from Outdoor Structures. But it is amazing. So, I mean, I was looking at it last night, everybody, you know, we wanted to like take, people were like, can I take the chairs home? It's spectacular. I congratulate all of them. So, that's it, I think. Thank you.
Mrs. Hackett?
I also don't mind to repeat thank you to the community for passing the budget, and to John for wanting to stick it out with us another term. So there's no better person we'd like to see up here, so we love having you. Center Stage was incredible, and all I could have to say is You've Got a Friend in Me was just the most amazing time I've spent here. I enjoyed every minute of it, and every child up here just made me so proud, and just did such a great job. I wanted to say thank you to the class of '59. I thought that was such a nice treat to have people come back after 60 years to want to give back, and I think that's a great lesson for our kids, so I wanted to say thank you, and to the Ed Foundation, of course, Dr. Ceruto and her fabulous team, and that's just amazing work that they do and how they enhance the schools. All of us have been PTA presidents, so I have to say, again, thank you to the PTA. We don't forget where we came from. We know that job. That is a hard, hard job. And they just did it so beautifully this year and every other year, but just wanted to say thank you for everything that they do for us as a district, and congratulations, of course, to Tricia Bach and Rose Camerata and all the wonderful teachers, staff on their retirements and the tenures. I love to see that big investment into our future here, and that's it. I congratulate, I don't know, do we have another meeting where we have mic time or no? So otherwise, I congratulate the class of 2019 for 5th graders, 8th graders, 12th graders, and any of us who have college kids graduating, congratulations, and happy summer.
I'd just like to thank the 4 of you for staying at our meeting. I won't go through everything else. Everybody, we're very fortunate in this district. We do great things. We have great staff, great teachers, and they're very proud to be here. The teachers who have made tenure today are so excited. It's just such a milestone in their career, and it helps their life be a little less settled. They feel very good about it. I just want to remind everybody our next meeting is the 18th. It is a Public Works meeting in the boardroom, and then graduation. Graduation on the 28th, being we won't have any public time. The middle school starts at 1. High school starts at 5 at Hofstra. Everybody's welcome. It's a little tight in the middle school, so come to the high school graduation. And thank you for a great year. Thank you for the community support and our budget and electing me. It was a tough choice, I know. So, thank you very much. Can I have a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. Opportunity for visitors.
Good evening. Brian McNamara, 450 Laurel Road. There's one topic I'm interested in, and I'd like to see what the steps are to present that information and educate parents. Professional development for teachers and for leaders. What's involved with getting that on the docket in terms of educating us about what the district provides, resources it gives? What information can you share on that?
Can we do a presentation?
Sure, it's a great topic for a presentation, maybe perhaps as soon as we come back, maybe?
Early next year, okay?
I mean,
September?
fall is an ideal time, especially setting the stage for future budget discussions or enhancements or
That's fine, it's a great idea.
necessary.
I don't believe we've ever really,
We don't talk about it often other than during the budget perhaps when a question comes up, but yeah, we can go through the entire piece.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the financial reports as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I didn't ask any questions. Can I have a motion to approve the receipt of financial reports as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the items for action on the, as listed on the agenda, including the addenda? Do we have an addenda? Yes, we do. Two addenda. Up to what number is that?
It's L,
I'm sorry.
A through L,
A through L.
plus
Of the-
one addendum.
A through L plus one addendum.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Addendum 2.
Can I have a motion to approve addendum 2 as listed in the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All abstain? Aye. So,
Throwing things at me now.
can I have a motion to adjourn into executive session for discussion of specific contractual and litigation matters?
Just leave these here.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you again.
Thank you.